Hi guys, I'm Priyanka, and today I'm going to talk about a book called Malice by Pintip Dunn. The book is about a girl who's supposed to stop a pandemic from happening 10 years in the future. So this is a fair trigger warning. This book has a lot of details about how a pandemic spreads and what are the repercussions of it. So it's a little bit of sensitive content. So this is a fair warning for everyone who might want to read it. Now I'm gonna just read out the blurb of the book to you so you get a fair idea. It's a really short one. What I know, a boy in my school will one day wipe out 2/3 of the population with a virus. What I don't know, who he is. In a race against the clock, I not only have to figure out his identity, but I'll have to outwit a voice from the future telling me to kill him. Because I'm starting to realize no one is telling the truth. But how can I play chess with someone who already knows the outcome of every move of mine? Someone so filled with malice, they've lost all hope in humanity. Well, I'll just have to find a way, because now they've drawn a target on the only boy I've loved. So the book starts with this girl called Alice. And well, Alice is a normal teenager just going about her life. She loves her brother and she loves her family. And one day, some voice that really sends currents into your brain and really tortures you and says that you have to do exactly as they say. But they claim that it is you from the future and you are the one supposed to save the entire humanity, 2/3 of the population of the earth, by eliminating this one person from your school. It's utterly confusing when it starts right at in the beginning of the book, when she hears this voice and claiming that they are her from the future. The voice in her head asks her to go and say I love you to one of the most popular kids in school, this guy called Bandit. He's spelled as Bandit but is pronounced as Bandit. Is mentioned in the book as well, because the boy is from the Asian descent and his name is not actually Bandit. And well, a lot of adventure starts right from there, when she realizes that the snobbish boy that he is just an exterior. Now the voice in her head is also telling her to not fall for this boy, and also pointing fingers and like being really suspicious. Throughout the book, the mystery is remaining intact, that who is the person who's going to develop this virus 10 years in the future. Alice, obviously, she's a teenager. She's under a lot of pressure and she's trying desperately to find out what this voice is. However, the voice is not exactly like a straightforward voice that tells her what to do. There are complications in there as well. This book deals with a fair amount of time travel, except that the time travel involved in this book is not your conventional one that you get into a machine and then get out. Or it's a very, very different concept of time travel, where you with the help of your conscience, you travel back and forth in time. It's one of the most unique concepts of time travel that I've read, which is what kept me hooked throughout the book. Alice does not believe this voice, but there comes a time when she travels in the future and sees the kind of absolute devastation that happens 10 years later, when this particular virus has harmed a whole lot of the humanity. And she's really moved, she's shaken, and that is when she realizes that okay, actually the future of the entire humanity is in the hands of Alice, the teenager. Why I'm stressing on that is that when the book starts out, she's just a normal girl, and suddenly this kind of pressure comes on her, and she sort of has to grow up before time. And she's not supposed to fall in love with this boy, but things happen, and you definitely have to read the book for that. What I absolutely loved was that through the book, Alice maintains this entire light tone, which is the way of writing in the book. I really liked it, the way it starts really light-hearted. It has a lot of sense of humor. That is something that makes the book unique, that Wilde is dealing with something so huge. It's from the perspective of a teenager, so it sounds like that. I think that's 100% justice done to that. Throughout the book, you're gonna suspect, of course, the voice suspects Bandit to be the bad guy, but turns out that he's not the only one who's the suspect. Like all the other time travel books that I have read, one thing is that emotions transcend time, and that is exactly what has happened in this book as well. And it's portrayed so beautifully that whatever bonds you form right now also reflect years later or generations later in the same way. There are some things, some bonds you absolutely cannot change, no matter how you try, no matter how hard you try to sacrifice it in any point in timeline. Some bonds are just meant to be. The person you're expecting to be the villain, the 10 years later villain, is absolutely shocking. I gasped in horror. I am not kidding. I did. And it was this person hiding in plain sight. It's one of the most wonderful things about the book, that it weaves through so beautifully, that you're just invested in Alice's story. This book can be read at any point in time. It just happened to release at a time when something this unfortunate has happened. The love story angle between Bandit and Alice could have been a little more intense, considering the intensity of the story overall. So yeah, there's nothing particularly that I absolutely completely disliked about the book. This is just that one thing could have been done better. So I give this book a 4.5 on 5, just 0.5, not because the love story angle it was worth it. It was worth every penny I spent on this. So yeah, Malice is something that I would definitely recommend for you to read next.